Thank you for joining me again in this video. In this video, we'll be continuing from module 5 of our digital marketing training. Okay, so we continue. This will take 45 minutes. It has 6 lessons, module 5 of 26. So start learning. If you have any challenge with any of the sections, just send me a message on WhatsApp 09065366248. Okay, so we continue view transcript. In this video, we'll talk through some of the history behind search engines. We'll explain how search engines have changed business and tell you why they're a great place to market your business on. Okay, so where did search engines come from? One of the earliest search engines was a program called Archie, which debuted in 1990 and allowed people to access and search file names, basically the names of the web pages. But Archie couldn't tell you what was on those pages. Fast forward a few decades and search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, Ask.com, AOL, Baidu, and Yandex have come a long way. These search engines use incredibly sophisticated computer programs to sort through a massive number of web pages. Most search engines basically work in the same way. When a person wants to find something, they type in a word or phrase called a search query, which we also refer to as keywords. Those keywords are the phrases that people actually type in on the internet when they're searching for something. The process of typing in that keyword on the internet and doing the search is what is referred to as a search query. Then the search engine compares that query to its catalog of web pages, pulling out the best pages to show the searcher. These are displayed on a search results page. Their goal is to create the most relevant list of results possible to help searchers find what they are looking for. The results page includes links to websites, but you might also see local business listings, items for sale, advertisements, images, maps, videos, and more. So how does this apply to you? Well, imagine you own a coffee shop. If someone searches for coffee shop Cotswolds, that's you. This is the perfect opportunity to appear on the search results page. In the same way, if you're a technician who repairs air conditioning units or a local takeaway ready to deliver dinner, you want to show up when people search for related words and phrases. Why? Because the words entered into the search engine indicates the searcher is interested in your products and services right now. See why search engine is such a great place to be? It's a way to target people who are already looking for you. That's one of the biggest advantages search engine has over social media advertising. In social media advertising, for example, you are the one doing the adverts and looking for people and you want them to be interested. But when they go on Google and do a search, they are the ones already interested and looking for your type of business. So don't just take our word for it. Many marketers will tell you that search is essential to their online marketing strategy, and the numbers back this up. Does this mean you should ignore other ways of advertising online? Of course not. Your plan can and should include lots of different ways to promote your business, like social media, email marketing, and display advertising. But if you are a business interested in promoting products and services online, being on search is a pretty safe bet. Okay, so check your knowledge. Seth is opening a coffee shop and is looking to attract new customers. Take a look at the list of benefits Seth sees in using search engines. One statement is not true. Can you cross it out? Okay. It says customers will see advertisements for Seth's business whenever they use a search engine. No. Unless this Seth has paid for an ad or for a keyword where you will see the AD in front of that result, that is when it will be showing Seth's business advert on a search engine. You don't just see people's ad on a search engine without them having paid. Okay, so that's the wrong one out of it. So we move on to lesson 2 of module 5. Okay, view transcript. Welcome to our video explaining how search engines work. We'll give you the basics on how search engines find web pages, what they do with the pages, they find, and how they decide what results to show. When you are using a search engine to find the closest coffee shop, you are probably not thinking about search engine technology, but later you might wonder, how did it do that? How did it sort through the entire internet so quickly and choose the results you saw on the page? Each search engine uses their own software program, but the way they work is pretty similar. They all perform three tasks. First, they examine content they learn about. and have permission to see. That's called crawling. Second, they categorize each piece of content. That's called indexing. And third, they decide which content is most useful to searchers. That's called ranking. So you see, it involves three basic steps. Whenever you put a content on the internet, Google has softwares called bots, robots, that go around the internet searching for new content. That process of going around the internet searching for new content is called crawling. Now, when they've seen a new content, they will index it under a category. How will they know that this content is for this certain category? It's because each content will have some keywords in it. That's the power of SEO. So Google will index your content. So when anyone searches for your content, Google will pick that content that is the most similar, or the one that has the most answer to that person's query. That's how it's done. So don't forget, the major work of Google is to match people's questions with answers. And don't forget, Google is not the one providing any of these questions or answers. It is people that are providing these answers. So it's left for you to learn how to do the matching of the questions and the answers. Those are part of things you'll be learning as we go on in the training. So let's take a closer look at how this works. Search engines crawl the internet to discover content like web pages, images, and videos. Each search engine uses uses computer programs called bots, crawlers or spiders, to make their way through the pages. The bots hop from page to page by following links to other pages. These bots never stop. Their sole purpose is to visit and revisit pages looking for new links and new content to include in the index. Indexing is the second part of the process. The index is a gigantic list of all the web pages and content found by the bots. The search engine uses this index as the source of information displayed on the search results pages. But not everything the bot finds makes its way into a search engine's index. For example, search engines may find multiple copies of the exact same piece of content located on different websites. How is that possible? Well, imagine you are not searching for a coffee shop, but a coffee maker. You might notice that the top of the line Coffee King 2000 has the same word-for-word description on the websites of many retailers. The description might have been provided by the manufacturer, but now the search engine has decisions to make, which version to keep in the index. There's no need for hundreds of duplicates, so it's unlikely that every page will be added. So if you own a website that is selling coffee makers, you are likely better off writing your own description of the Coffee King 2000. Make sense? That covers crawling and indexing, which just leaves us with ranking. When you type in a search, the search engines compares the words and phrases you use to its index, looking for matching results. Let's say, for example, the search engine finds 230 million matching results. Now it's time for the last part of the search engine's task, ranking. The search engine rank pages is top secret. The way they rank pages is top secret. Is their special sauce. There are hundreds of ways search engines determine rank, including things like the words on the page as the content, the number of other websites linking to it, and the freshness of the content. But no matter what formula they use to determine rank, the goal remains the same: to try to connect the searcher with what they are looking for. But no matter what formula they use to determine rank, the goal remains the same. Say you've read about an Australian style cappuccino called a flat white and you want to try it. If you search for flat white coffee near me, the search engine will show you nearby shops selling the drink because your search indicated your location. You might even see a map to help you find them. So what have we learned? Search engines are constantly working to scour the web for content, organize it, and then display the most relevant results to searchers. Understanding this process will help you make your website the best it can be. So check your knowledge. Set's coffee shop is unique. It has an outside roof terrace and a library area so customers can read while they sip. He also sells rare coffee beans imported from Peru. What are a few techniques he could use to make his website more relevant to its desired users? Okay, so look at the question again. What are the few techniques he could use to make his website more relevant to his users? Okay, he sells rare coffee beans imported from Peru. Okay, so point out unique aspects of his business, yes. Write a blog to sing the praises of his Peruvian beans, yes. Make sure his shop appears on Google Maps, yes. Paste in a product description of his Peruvian beans that he found on another website. You can't duplicate content. It will affect your ranking. Try to get other coffee enthusiasts to review his business/website. Good. Move to the next lesson. So this is lesson 3 of module 5. Okay, welcome to our video looking at how search engines see web pages. We'll go over how search engines understand what's on a web page, which parts of a web page specifically help them, and how you can make your pages more visible to search engines. In simple terms, when you ask a search engine to find something, it looks through a huge list of previously indexed pages called the index and pulls out relevant results based on what you are looking for. Pages make it into the index only after the search engine has determined what they're about. That way, it can file them in exactly the right place amongst the other pages and find them the next time a search relates to their content. By knowing how a search engine decides what a page is about, you can optimize your pages to make sure they show up in the search results of people looking for websites, just like yours. So let's say you own a coffee shop and you've got a website to promote it. When you look at a page on the site, you see this. But when a search engine looks at the same page, in addition to seeing what you see on the screen, it sees the code behind it called HTML. Now, that's very important. Now, we are the ones seeing content. The search engines are not just seeing your content, they are seeing the codes behind the content. Don't forget, when you are designing a website, you'll be learning codes, not necessarily coding, but how to change those words to HTML tags. You'll be learning it when we are doing content marketing. Okay, so the codes that the search engine bots are seeing, the HTML tags, are what helps in determining which content they will show up whenever anybody does a search on the internet regarding that category. Okay, specific parts of this code help the search engine understand what the web page is all about. And knowing which parts are important can help you to optimize your site. First, the title of the page in the code. That's very important. In this example, you can see the title in the tab at the top, Cotswolds Coffee Shop. The search engine sees the title enclosed in a piece of code called a title tag. It looks like this, Cotswolds Coffee Shop. Many websites can be edited using tools that handle all the HTML coding for you. That's called the Content Management System, or CMS. You'll be learning how to do that. That's called WordPress. That's what you'll be using to design your website. You'll be learning all this when we are doing web designing. You'll be learning it when we are doing content marketing and how to add plugins to websites like Yoast SEO. It helps with helping businesses show up on the internet. So if you use a CMS to make changes to your website, there's probably a place to add this title to. You can help the search engine index your page properly by making sure your page accurately describes its content. That way, it can show up in relevant searches. The next thing you will want to think about is the page text. Think about who you want to visit your page and what words they are using to describe your products and services. Do they talk about their trade coffee? Do they use the term cappuccino instead of macchiato? These are probably the terms they're also using to search. Try to speak the language of your customers when you write your content, because this can help ensure they will find your pages when they search. Finally, let's talk about the page's images. Search engines won't see the mouth-watering photos of your coffee creations in the same way we do, which is a shame. But what they will see is the code behind it. To help search engines identify the image, give it a descriptive name. For example, image.jpg is not a great file name for search engines, whereas something that describes exactly what's in the picture, like iced peppermint mocha.jpg is. You can even take it one step further by adding alternative text. You'll learn how to do all this in the code with your image, known as the alt tag. It describes the image, which is useful for people using web browsers that don't display images, or for people with visual impairments who use software to listen to the content of web pages. In the HTML, the alternative tag will appear something like this. Again, if you use a content management system to update your site, there's probably a place to add an alt tag too. So remember, use descriptive, unique titles for each page on your site. Write for your customers, but remember to include important words and phrases that can help search engines understand what your pages are all about. And don't forget to name image files with descriptive words and include alternative text. Together, all of these tips can help search engines understand your pages and put them in front of people that matter, your potential customers. Let me quickly show you what all those explanations are talking about there. For example, somebody goes online and types in digital marketing training in Ibadan. Okay. digital marketing training in Ibadan. Okay, so somebody goes online and does that search. Okay, to show you the results. Okay, that's the result that we have. Okay, now if you click on images, for example, now you will see many of these images are categorized under this keyword, digital marketing training in Ibadan. Okay, this is my company. This is us. This is the front of office. I posted this. I posted this. You can see Jobs Bridge. I'm the one that posted that. Okay, I posted this in an article I wrote. This is an article for me. This is an article for me. I posted this. Now, we are the ones seeing images. Now, one thing you don't know is that these images are showing up here. Why? It is because at the back end, when you save an image on your system or on your phone, it is usually saved as image 001 or whatever, as the image 002.jpg. But these images, we didn't post them online as image 001. We've changed the name of these images to digital marketing training in Ibadan. I hope you're getting the point. Instead of posting it online and it was saved as image 001 or 00, all those string of numbers, we've changed the name of the images to reflect digital marketing in Ibadan. So while you and I are seeing images, the crawlers, the bots going around the internet won't be seeing images, they will be seeing the names attached to these pictures. That's what they have been trying to explain to us over there. That's why as we are going on in the training and we are doing stuff on SEO and content marketing, you will see the importance of saving images using keywords. Okay, so let's go back to our training. So check your knowledge now for lesson 3. It says Search would like to make sure as many interested customers as possible are seeing his business website displayed in their search results. What are a few things he could pay attention to in order to achieve this? Image file names, page titles, keywords in the content, keyword meta tags, something like that. Submit, that's right. To the next lesson, that's lesson 4. Lesson 4 of module 5. Okay, so view transcript. Are you ready to dive into the world of organic results? In this video, we will explain what organic or unpaid results are. We'll find out what search engine optimization means and discover how good website content affects the organic search results. Okay, let's get started. Back to the coffee shop and imagine that you've just started offering authentic French macarons using an old family recipe. You know there must be other people in your city who would enjoy this international treat. Someone might even be searching for it right now. So how do you help them find it? Well, when someone searches for something using a search engine, the results page they see contains a list of organic or unpaid results. That's what I explained in the other video, where you do a search on Google. The ones with AD are called SEM, paid ads. Okay. Now, all those ones that show under the map are what you call SEO results. They are called organic results. That means you didn't pay to be on that position. You got there through your content writing ability and understanding how to insert keywords in your post. That's all we are trying to say here. Okay, so organic results typically appear in the center of the page and are the results the search engine decides are the best match for the search query or words that were typed in. Results pages will also display advertisements of paid results, though they will be separate and labeled as ads. Although organic results and ads appear on the same page, there's one big difference. There's no cost to appear in the organic results. I already explained that. Websites do not and cannot pay to appear here. You can't pay to show up on the organic results. That's why a lot of organizations are looking for people who can help them achieve that. They are called SEO experts. Okay. So how can you improve your website's chances of appearing in the unpaid results? It all comes down to quality. Think of it this way. The search engine's primary goal is to help people find what they are looking for. If you can help the search engine decide that your website is what people are looking for, you're in good shape. Making improvements to your site to help it appear in the organic results is called search engine optimization or SEO. Good SEO involves helping the search engine find and understand your site. So what do search engines like? Good, relevant content. Think about exactly what your coffee shop's potential customers might be searching for. If they want a macaron, they might search for those words, but that's a pretty broad search and would also mean a searcher's looking for a recipe or an image or the history of the pastry. Understanding that, it would probably be more useful for you to focus on appearing on searches for homemade macarons in your city in your city. So your focus might be to create relevant original content that reinforces the how that all macarons are made from scratch at your location and the where that your macarons are available at your bakery or delivered to certain areas. This can help your website appear on searches for macaron bakery or related searches like the best macaron in Cotswolds or ready-made macaron for pickup now. You see, all those phrases used here are referred to as keywords. Now, the person is trying to localize it. Is using the name of his company, is using the location, okay? That's organic search results. Showing up in them is a great way to help customers find you and it won't cost you a thing. All you have to do is make sure that your content is relevant to the people searching so they will click and stay for a visit. We have a whole lesson coming up on this, so stay tuned. SEO is a very interesting part of digital marketing, okay? And you will get how to do all that as we go on in the training. So check your knowledge. Organic search results appear when someone makes a search using a search engine. They aren't paid for by businesses and they are not adverts. Which of the images shows the organic search results from this particular search? Organic results are always in the middle, so it's the third one. Okay, next lesson, lesson 5, we are making progress. Okay, view transcript. Ready to learn a bit about advertising on search engines? We will cover how advertising on search engines work. It's called SEM or search engine marketing. We will explain why it is so effective and how businesses compete to show ads. Imagine you live in Cotswolds. You are out running errands and are desperate for a coffee. You pull out your mobile and search for coffee shop Cotswolds. Now you have a page full of options to consider. Every section on the page on the map Every section on the page, the map, the ads, and the search results presents options. Who knew there would be so many? Some of these results are selected by the search engine's organic formula. These pages are considered the most relevant web pages the search engine can find for this search. The other sections are ads. If you take a moment to compare the ads you see to those in a print magazine, you might notice one big difference. Every ad is for a coffee shop. You don't see ads for unrelated things, and interestingly enough, the adverts seem quite similar to the organic results. This is by design and is what makes paid search advertising so effective. A search engine's most important job is to show people the results they are looking for, and this extends to the ads. The ads you see complement the search results page with the ultimate goal of helping a searcher find what they are looking for. So how exactly does search engine advertising work? There are several models. Let's take a look at one popular option. The text ads you see on search engine's results page. Every time someone searches advertisers, Every time someone searches, advertisers compete for the opportunity to display ads. It happens in milliseconds and the searcher won't see the details, only the winners, the ads that appear on the page. So how do search engines decide who wins? The primary components are the bid and the quality. Okay, we'll explain all that. The bid is the maximum amount an advertiser is willing to pay for a click on an ad. Don't forget, all those results that show AD in front of it, if you click on it, some amount of money will be taken from the advertiser's account. Each advertiser has paid a certain amount of money and I've told Google that, okay, this is the maximum amount I want to pay for a click. Anytime someone clicks on my ad, this is the amount I'm willing to pay. So the results that show up in the ad section will depend on the amount that you are willing to pay and the relevance of your ad to the query that is made. Okay, so let me continue. So if an advertiser bids £2, let me start from here. The bid is the maximum amount an advertiser is willing to pay for a click on an ad. If someone clicks the ad, the advertiser is charged an amount equal to or sometimes less than the bid. So if an advertiser bids £2 for a keyword, that's the most they will pay for a single ad click. If an ad shows on the page but no one clicks, it doesn't cost the advertiser anything at all. You see, that's the difference between Facebook advertising and the one on Google. On Google, when someone does a search but they don't click on your ad, none of your money will be taken. But on Facebook, as long as there is impression, as long as people are seeing your ads, whether they click on it or not, your money will be taken. Ideally, bids correspond to the value of the keywords to the business, but the amount is up to each advertiser. Some advertisers may be willing to bid 50 pence for a keyword, others may be willing to pay £10. Bid averages vary industry by industry and keyword by keyword. Bids are important, but so is quality. Winning the auction doesn't always hinge on having the highest bid. Search engines reward ads and keywords with strong relevance to the search. In fact, it's possible that relevant ads can win higher spots on the search results page, even with lower bids. In some cases, no matter how high a bid, a search engine will not display the ad if it is not relevant. To summarize, paid ads offer another way to promote your products and services on search engine results page. With a well-constructed search advertising campaign, you can reach customers at the very moment that they are looking for what you offer. Want to learn more about SEM? Check out the search advertising lessons. We will go deep into SEM as we go on in the training. So check your knowledge. Seth is considering advertising his business using paid search results. What do you think makes paid search advertising so effective as a marketing method? Look at the following statements and decide whether they are true or false. Seth's adverts are shown to people who are already interested in his type of business. That's true. Seth will only be charged for advertising when his ad appears in the search results. No, it won't be charged because it appears in the search results. It will be charged only when someone clicks on it. So that's false. The paid search results are given a more prominent position on the search results page. That's true. They are the ones on top. Search will be charged to advertisers for advertising only when someone clicks on his ad. That's true. So we submit. That's right. So we move to the final lesson in module 5. We're making progress. Okay. Want a great tool to get your website more traffic? Traffic simply means the number of visitors that come to your site. Then this is the video for you. We are going to tell you all about a free Google service called Search Console. I have a video on Google Search Console. We'll be getting into that also. And show how it can help you and how you can get it set up. So what exactly is Google Search Console? Well, it is a service that gives you feedback about how your website is doing in search results. It has two primary functions. It monitors your performance in Google search results, and it also shows you how Google sees your site. Say you own a coffee shop and your website needs some updating. Let's take a closer look at a few ways Search Console might be able to help you out. One way is through a search analytics report. This can help you answer a few important questions like which searches bring people to your site, or tell you when searchers click on the links. They can even let you know which other sites link to yours. Why is this important? Well, the search analytics report shows lots of things, including the most common searches bringing people to your site. Ideally, you'll see words and phrases related to your business like coffee shop Cotswolds, coffee house near me, pastries near Cotswolds, or fair trade coffee near me. Now, the Google My Business profile can also help you achieve the same thing the Google Search Console does, because with the Google's My Business profile, you can actually know what people are typing in on the internet to get to your particular type of business. You will know how all that is done in the local SEO video. If you review the report and see unrelated or irrelevant words and phrases, it is a hint that the text on your website needs some attention. Another thing to look for is the number of clicks. You want to know how often your site appears but gets no click. That's a sign your content doesn't match what people are looking for. The links to your site report shows websites that link to your site. Think of these as referrals. The list should include websites relevant to coffee. More and more people use mobile devices to access the internet. So while you are in Google Search Console, you should also check out the mobile usability report. This will point out pages on your site that don't work well on mobile phones, which you can then fix to improve your site performance when people search on mobile. There are two more really handy features within Search Console to know about: crawl reports and Google index reports. Crawl reports lets you monitor where Google can visit your web pages, lets you monitor whether Google can visit your web pages. This is important because if Google can't access your web pages, your content can't be included in Google search results. The Google Index report shows what information Google recorded about your site and tells you if your pages are accessible. It's easy to get started with Search Console. Like I said, there's a video on that. We'll get into that. Once signed in, add your website and complete the verification to prove that you own the site. Now, Search Console can generate reports for your site for free. It might take a few days before you see useful information because it must gather data and process it. If you see a no data yet message, check back later. Now that your site is set up on Google Search Console, you can use the reports to figure out how to improve your presence on Google. Using the reports, you can make changes to help Google better understand your web pages and as a result, make your website perform better. So check your knowledge. Seth's website has been up and running for a while, but he is not sure how effective it's been at drawing in new customers. How can Google Search Console help Seth with this? It can help show whether he's using proper keywords in his content. That's right. It can recommend better pages for Seth to use. That's right. It can recommend content that will drive more traffic to his site. No. So you submit. That's right. Okay. So we do the assessment. Why are search engines a great place for your business to be found? People pay to use search engines? No. People who search are actively looking for it. That's correct. What technology do search engines use to crawl websites? Voice. Which of the following can help a search engine understand what your page is about? The title tag. Fill in the blank. Spending money on search advertising influences how your website appears in the search results page. Which of these is an important factor in the paid search auction system? Which of these can Google Search Console help you to do? It helps you increase your search. It helps you optimize. It helps you understand which keywords people are searching for. Okay. Hopefully that should be correct answers. Okay. So we have completed module 5. So in the next video, we'll be going to module 6. Thank you for watching this video. See you in module 6.